So Shalom, Israel. Brother Malak back with a biblical lesson. This one is titled, The Blood Covenant Still Stands. The blood covenant still stands. It says, Malachi 3:6, it says, For I am the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Yahweh. For I am the Lord, I change not. So man changes. Man, woman, child, children. We change. We are fickle. We are imperfect. We are corruptible. For I am the Lord, I change not. Man changes. Woman changes. Children changes. We're corruptible. We're imperfect. We have flaws. And I'm just drilling that because I'm making a point. Malachi 3:6, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, you sons and daughters too, but the Lord, Yahweh, he deals with the men of nations. It says, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Who are the sons of Jacob? Who is Jacob? When you go and do your due diligence, your research, your studying, your precept upon precept, and your line upon line, you will find out that Jacob is Israel. And his name was changed because he fought the angel. And that the sons of Israel are the 12 tribes, and their offspring scattered abroad. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Naphtali, Gad, Reuben, Issachar, Ephraim, etc., and their offspring, all the way down to us. You so-called Latinos, Native Indians, and Negroes whose fathers go back to Jacob, Israel. One more time for those in the back. Malachi 3:6, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. So here we see God says that he changes not. He don't change. Only man changes. Only woman changes. Only children changes. Because we are corruptible. We are corruption. We are imperfect. We go off. We tend not to keep our promises. But God does. Yahweh does. Yahweh doesn't change. Let's grab Jeremiah. The blood covenant still stands. The blood covenant still stands. And I find myself going into this lesson, this topic, quite often because our people have been lied and duped and told that the covenant, the blood covenant that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai has made with us, his people, is no longer in effect. We have been lied and told that the blood covenant is for everybody. And that's just not the truth. We do this for truth's sake. We do this for proof's sake. You know, there's a lot of lies and cover-ups that have been told. Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah 31:31. And it's a good chapter too, because it really breaks down everything. It says Jeremiah 31:31. The topic, the title of this lesson, the blood covenant still stands. It says Jeremiah 31:31. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, the northern kingdom, the northern Israelites. You know, so-called Latinos and Native Indian tribes, and with the house of Judah, so-called Negroes, Haitians, Jamaicans, these tribes. And how do we find that out? Through prophecies and through the Israelite 12 tribes chart. Some say it's accurate, some say it's not. But I will say this, Judah is the Negro, and Ephraim is the Native Indian, Latino, or your Native Indian. But back to the point. So here we state, here it states that Yahweh will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, with both kingdoms. He will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Repeat this, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, bondage. So it was a covenant then, but our forefathers and foremothers broke it, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, said the Lord. Verse 33, it says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, said the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, the mind, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. So here it states that he's creating a new covenant, and he's going to put it in our inward parts. And when you break that down, that's talking about in the kingdom, where we reap our immortal status, the eternal status. He's going to put the laws in our inward parts, give us that heart of flesh, that mind of flesh, the heart of flesh, instead of that mind of stone. Basically, we're not going to go off no more. The laws are going to be programmed within us. Something that I used to dub on a lot. Something that we all used to dub on a lot. Like, why didn't God just, well, we used to call him God at the time, why didn't God just make us or create us to do right? Why didn't he make us or create us to do right? Why did he do it this way? Why, I admit I question. I think we all do in some forms and in ways. But Yahweh is always right because he knows best. He created everything. But he's going to actually program us to be perfect, righteous. 33. But this shall be the covenant, that blood covenant he made with us in Egypt, with Moses, the Israelites. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, said the Lord, Yahweh, I will put my laws, statutes, and commandments in their inward parts, and write it in their minds, and it will be their God, their power, Yahweh, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother or sister for that matter, saying, know the Lord, like we do today on these digital epistles, these digital lessons, like we do on socials, like we do word to mouth, like we do when we're out there on those highways and hedges preaching and teaching the gospel, the true gospel. I mean, you can believe it or you don't have to. It says, and they shall teach no man, Shalakia, they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. That's what we do out there when we out there. That's what we do when we doing anything. This is the kingdom work. This is ministry work. This is spiritual work. This is work that's going to follow us when this flesh goes back to where it come from. If Yahweh doesn't bring the destruction in my lifetime. this work here will follow me, because the spirit never dies. All your works are being written, written in the book of life. You want to be written in the book of life. You want to make it in the book of life, the eternity. You want to make it in whom the world calls Jesus Christ's kingdom. This is the work you're supposed to be doing. The real gospel work, the real teaching work, the real preaching work. It says, but that's what we do when we do our thing. It says, for they shall all know me. And this is what this verse is stating. It's stating that it's going to be a time period where Yahweh is going to put that blood covenant within us. It's going to be downloaded in us. And we will be perfect. Because how? Because perfection is not sinning. So if we have the law, statutes, and commandments within us, via Jeremiah 31, verse 33, and via chapter 31 of Jeremiah, verse 34, we should no more teach man, woman, neighbor, brother, sister, saying, know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will reward, remember their sin no more. So there you go. The blood covenant still stands. And he's actually going to put the blood covenant within us. He's going to program it within us. And you already know Hasatan, and who in the nation that he deals with. They always like to jock and copy Yahweh. And this is, and how are they going to do that? With their little potato chip or their chip ahoy. Their chip ahoy cookie or their potato chip. Try to download and program. They just jock off Yahweh, man. They like to copy Yahweh. But Yahweh is the originator. The originator, man. It says, reading on, it says, Jeremiah 31, verse 35. It says, thus said the Lord, which give the sun for light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divides the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name, Yahweh. Yes, he created these beautiful luminaries, the stars, the suns, the moons, the waters, the earth, man, animals, insects, cells, microbiome, whatever that's in creation. He created it, the ultimate creator. It says, peep this, Jeremiah 31, verse 36, it says, and those ordinances, Salak, if those luminaries, because they're lights, the sun is a light by day, the moon and stars are a light by night, luminaries. It says, if those ordinances depart from before me, said the Lord Yahweh, then the seed of Israel, who is Israel? Jacob. Who is Jacob? Israel. Also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. The sun still shines. The moon still shines. The stars still shine. They're still before not only him, but they're still before us to this very day. So that means that the seed of Israel is still a nation. That means Jacob, Israel, the 12 tribes and their offspring is still a nation to this very day. They're still here. They're still a nation. They're still here. I just read Malachi 3:6 that said, Yahweh changes not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. So somebody's lying, and it's not God, or who you ignorantly call God. It's not Yahweh. Point is, man, you so-called Latinos, Native Indians, Negroes, you are the children of Israel. We come from the stock of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, 12 tribes, and the offspring. We are the offspring scattered abroad. That's the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. It says, Jeremiah 31, verse 37, it says, thus said the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, said the Lord. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that the city shall be built to the Lord from the tower of Hanel to the gate of the corner. And that's getting into the kingdom of heaven, the holy city coming back. The city shall be built, as it says right here. But Jeremiah 31, 33, all the way to 37 was the point. The blood covenant stands. And this thing of ours, we like the precept upon precept. So I gave you one scripture precept. Let's find another one to support the one we just brought out. For truth's sake, for proof's sake. This is New Testament. New Testament. New Testament. And that was Old Testament. Jeremiah was Old Testament, but still, when you read this Bible, when you read these scrolls, you will realize that there's still prophecies in the Old Testament that haven't happened yet. And that's yet to happen. So, people like to bring up that's Old Testament, this. Even then, that's still stating that he did not cast away Israel, because the sun, the moon, the stars, they're still here, and the heavens haven't been measured, nor has the depths of the sea been measured. So still, by default, the children of Israel, we are still his nation. We are still his people. We are still under the blood covenant. The blood covenant still stands with us, according to Romans 9 and 4. Romans 9 and 4 makes it plain. Only us, only you Latinos, you Negroes, you Native Indians, you Negroes, you Latinos, you Haitians, Jamaicans, etc. It's about us. It's about you. The blood covenant is with us. Hebrews 8 and 8. It says, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, Jacob, and with the house of Judah, the southern kingdom, you Negroes, Haitians, Jamaicans, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them out of the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, which is bondage. We learned that through Exodus 20, verse 1 through 2. It says, because they continued not in my covenant, and we didn't. This is why we find ourselves in these damn situations, because our people are stiff-necked, hard-headed people. This is why we were scattered through all the lands of our exiles, these captivities, because we just can't get right. We just keep going off. And most of that, as the scripture states, that the creature was created or subject by, roughly paraphrase, I'm kind of butchering it, but the creature was subject to vanity. So we were kind of made to go off on this side, to know both sides of righteousness and wickedness, to experience both aspects, if you will. But Hebrews 8 and 8 again, for finding, I don't even want to read that again. It says, verse 9, it says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, bondage, because they continued not in my covenant. I regarded them not, said the Lord, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. Northern kingdom, southern kingdom, Judah, northern kingdom, Israel. Sometimes they can be synonymous with one another. Sometimes when it says it, they talking about both kingdoms. It says, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, said the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind. Whenever the Bible talks about heart, it's talking about the mind. It says, and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a power, God, Yahweh, and they shall be my people. Or they shall be to me a people, Salak. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. And the Bible tells you how the least and the greatest is going to be. The Bible tells you those that teach the law, statutes, and commandments and to do them will be the greatest in the kingdom of the Israelites. And those that don't, they will be the least in the kingdom of the Israelites. So this is pretty big news. This is big prophecy. It says, verse 12, it says, for I will be merciful to their unrighteousness. So Yahweh, he's going to forget our iniquities, all the stuff that our forefathers and foremothers have done in these different time capsules, different time periods, different eras, different generations. He's going to forget all of the iniquities. He's going to forget all their iniquities. And that's to this day, until this day. It says, well, I remember no more. It says, in that he said, a new covenant. He have made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. And then there's more scriptures on why he did that. He made a new covenant for greater things to take place and to come. So he always wanted to do away with the first covenant anyway. And there's scriptures on that where it states that he wanted a newer covenant. As far as Yahweh Shai HaMashiach goes, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach would be the leader in charge within that newer covenant. That's, that second covenant, if you will, or newer covenant, roughly paraphrased. I forget the scriptures, but I'm going on. But there you go. That's Hebrews 8:8 and Jeremiah 31:31. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So the topic of this is the blood covenant still stands. Well, with research, studying, writing down, precept upon precepting, understanding the scrolls, you will realize that he has not done away with the children of Israel. The children of Israel is still his people. And the blood covenant stands, and he only deals with Israel, according to Deuteronomy 32:8-9, according to Psalms 147. Is that 147? Let's grab it. Psalms 147:26. What's that? Psalms 147:26. Psalms 147. So no one's making up anything, man. This is just truth. This is just truth. Psalms 147:19-20. That's what it was. It says he shows his words into Jacob, Israel, Jacob. Psalms 147:19-20. He shows his word into Jacob, his statutes, commandments, laws, statutes, and his judgments into Israel. So he only deals with Israel. He just told you in Jeremiah 31 on down and Hebrews 8 on down. And there's another chapter, Ezekiel 20. Got to find it, but it's in Ezekiel, where he states that he only deals with Israel. He says, verse 20, the point, he have not dealt so with any nation. Those are all the ethnic Gentile heathen nations, the nations that he did not choose. He did not give the other nations his blood covenant. The blood covenant was with Israel, the 12 tribes. And I just went through precepts, and I just started this chapter off with an important scripture, Malachi 3:6, where it states that he changes not. Yahweh changes not. Malachi 3:6. He says he changes not, that you sons of Jacob are not consumed. And you could take that as being consumed in all this confusion, being consumed in all this hate and envy, being consumed with being lost in these exiles and captivities and lies. Matthew 3:6, not Matthew Salak, but Malachi 3:6. It says Psalms 147:19-20, verse 20, the point, he have not dealt so with any nation, and as far as his judgments, they have not known them, praise ye the Lord. And you see that to this day. This is why Israel does what Israel does. Stiff-necked, hard-headed, going off, don't believe, no faith, doing the opposite, etc., etc., etc. The blood covenant stands. Shalom Yashra'Allah Yahweh. All glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Because all wisdom and intelligence comes from the Lord. Proverbs 2:8-6.